Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of If It Be Your Will podcast. My pursuit of Montreal indie artists continues, and I have a great one here today. Second Body, I have Yann, who's the founder and the centerpiece of Second Body out of Montreal. You know, it's an indie rocky, hazy type of music. It's really quite addictive. He has a record that he put out before called Fanta Morgana. Came out in 2023. Summer Halls, hands down, amazing summer drive. If you want to go for a summer drive, throw that track on. It'll really help you get in the mood of country. And Yann's from the country. We're old friends. I mean, I've known Yann since he was a small baby. Maybe before he was a baby.
Yeah,
but yeah,
came into the world and there was Chris staring at me.
And it's never been the same since. And Yann's also, like, his background is heavy in music. I'll let him tell a little bit, but he's been in bands like Kill the Lights and Pang Attack. They're also, again, really big Montreal bands. So, Yann, thanks so much for taking a little time and kind of sharing a little bit about, we had this new record. Gift Horse seems to be ready or in the process of hitting the streets sometime
Last leg of the
summer. There you go. Cool. And stay tuned, guys. At the end, we'll play Weep, which is the first single off of Gift Horse coming out, like I said, spring, summer this year. So, yeah, thanks for joining me. And if you've listened to this cast before, you know my first question is always like, where did it all start? And maybe I'm going to evolve this question a little bit. What are a couple of salient moments that happened in your musical journey so far that mark something in you to keep pursuing this journey?
That's a good question. Thank you. Okay, so a couple of musical, moments or epiphanies.
Yeah, inflection points that, where it's like, this is something I have to do. This is something that started.
I played drums for a long time, and as you can imagine, as a drummer, you're taking part in the writing process, but it's limited in some ways, melodically limited, obviously. And I'd always sort of, been interested in singing. I grew up singing in choirs and embarrassingly barbershop quartets and things like that. Really interested in harmony, voices singing together. And then I, kind of taught myself to play guitar over the years. And, I always wanted to write songs, but I never really gave myself permission to do it. I don't know why. Maybe that's my own sort of issue, I suppose. But it's the kind of thing that I would always come home to in many ways, like playing guitar every evening or every little moment that I had, and just kind of crafting songs. I mean, I don't have a particular moment, but just the sense that songs they don't write themselves, but they do kind of come to fruition through practice, through repetition, through just the process of going to your instrument or your place where you're kind of removed from the hustle bustle of everyday life, sort of like a grounding. And then kind of songs sort of emerge out of that process. And that's just a really special kind of phenomenon that I just, I can't let go of, I suppose. I couldn't ignore.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was it like coming to the forefront? Because as you mentioned, I mean, you were trained as a jazz drummer, and I mean, your history is very drum oriented in other bands you've been with. What allowed you to take that leap to say, okay, I'm stepping out from behind and I'm going to be front and center? Like, what was that process like for you?
Kind of a anticlimactic. Like, I don't know how to put this, but it's like the other projects kind of shriveled up or something. Like the bands I was in playing drums, I played in Pang Attack or Kill the Lights, and then that kind of ended as I think you've spoken to Alex from Kill the Lights and Pang Attack before, the lead guy, and he started Pang Attack, and then I played drums on Pang Attack, and then Alex started to do other things, and which is great and good for him and everything, but the band kind of lost steam a little bit, I suppose, and then I was just left, if I can't play drums for somebody or someone else's sort of project, and put it that way, like, what am I going to do? And it's just sort of, you're left with that silence, and you're like, well, how am I going to fill this silence? And so I just said, like, I've been writing songs for years. It's time for me to just sort of try them out. And it was definitely a scary moment or transition, I suppose, but very fulfilling and just something I couldn't ignore anymore, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you find your voice? Like, I know it's like, when you're drumming, you're kind of back there and I mean, you're an amazing drummer. I mean, it's almost like another voice when you drum, but how did you remove the drum and say, okay, like I'm going to start singing? And what was the style you wanted to try to put across? Was there something in your mind that you're like, okay, I want to sing, this kind of style? Because Pang Attack and Kill the Lights were pretty heavy, right? I mean, I would say indie rocky, post punky.
Yeah, for sure. Pang Attack.
Did you find that voice that you wanted to put your face in front?
Well, I would say that I haven't found it yet. Like I'm still searching and I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like I'm very open to all of my influences. So I like to listen to all sorts of different styles of music. I'm not, a snob for a certain, shoegaze or this or that. Like I really like all sorts of stuff because of my varied background. And I just kind of like to follow what sounds good in my mind, so whether that's like something in, country inflected or, minimalist or post punk or whatever, like I'll just kind of let it kind of come through. And I suppose I'm still searching for a distinct sound, although I think it's coming together, and having the other musicians on this particular record, well, we really worked kind of together a lot on that, sort of really helped it, become something beyond just myself and my own sense of what the sound should be. So I like to be kind of open and let things kind of flow, I suppose. But definitely, I'm drawn to dissonance, to heaviness, but also to like harmony and the sweet kind of, more lyrical and I don't know, cerebral moments, so I mean, I'd listen for everything from like Ethiopian Golden Age to Brian Eno and then like bebop. So I'm kind of all over the place. That's generally my my style or as a person. I've made my peace with that over the years. I'm more like my mother than I like to admit, and
Right.
and that's just kind of what it is.
Yeah, yeah. And how do you go about your song process? Like how do you start a song? Like how does it come to you? Is it a melody? Is it a line? Is it an encounter, experience? Like what is your typical way of finding access into a song that will become a second body?
Yeah. I feel like that's a good question. There are many ways to access or to get into the realm of like the becoming of a song, whether it's just noodling on guitar, which often is the case. And I love the guitar, by the way, because like it's so, excuse me, it lends itself so well to like kind of like happy accidents or little moments of dissonance that you did not intend that actually end up being quite beautiful that you can capture. So it's an instrument where your errors can be kind of lovely. So I like that. And then I definitely, it's almost like not a little cliche, but like a recipe, right? So I've got my process of playing guitar all the time, and then I'll try and capture moments and things like that. But then of course there's the sort of more narrative or like lyrical element, where I try to draw from, emotional or like parts of my life that are not weighing on me, but that are, that have a certain kind of gravitas in my, so I don't shy away from, I guess, exploring some of those, vulnerabilities or something like that. And then there's this sort of like, I like some full of cliches, but like, I don't like kind of the groove aspect. Like, does it move you, like, I mean, I like, music is so closely related to movement and dance. Like you want it to kind of get under you like a magic carpet and kind of lift you up a little bit. So I'm trying to capture that as well. So I suppose my drumming or attention to rhythm and syncopation come in there. I love to add kind of counterpoints, syncopated counterpoints, like with the keyboard or guitar or drums, and also very much with the prosody, like how I'm speaking or singing the words. So it's kind of like a mishmash of all these different things. But again, like the process is to be open to whatever is coming towards me, the kind of like the gifts, I suppose, quote unquote, gifts that the cosmos kind of throws at you. And I just like, it's actually really about hearing, and listening. Like, I think that's kind of it. Yeah.
And I mean, Montreal has such a great musical community, and you kind of alluded to this with this latest record that will be coming out soon, Gift Horse. Did you open that up to more of the community? Like, was there a difference between the recording of your first and this one where community was involved more? Like, when you have a song that you're ready to go, who do you bring it to, and what do you accept in on a song? Or is it pretty set in your mind once you bring it into your community that's going to support you to make the record?
Well, in terms of the small community of the band, I definitely work a lot with drummer Sean because we just like to jam, so every Thursday night we're in there jamming, whether it's just guitar and drums or the whole band. But often it's easier to kind of, and I know this from being a drummer, it's like really helpful to work through a song with a drummer because you get that kind of phrasing that goes on with it. And again, that kind of movement, that feel really kind of comes together and you get a sense of how it can sound as you're building the parts. So I'll jam it with him, but I'll generally do a complete demo on my own, like a rough demo. And again,
all the parts you'll like put down all the parts.
All the parts. Yeah. Like I'll do a rough drum, like in my space. I'll record drums in pieces, and then I'll record, I'll do the guitar part. I'll throw in some bass. I'll throw in some keyboard. I'll have been working on the lyrics and vocals. So I kind of just mishmash it together, which is a really lovely process because it's quite strange. It's like a weird beast that you kind of throw together, and it wouldn't really work as like a final recording, but almost like the uncanniness of it is a fun thing to hear as well. And then I'll send it around to everybody and we'll slowly learn parts, and then we'll kind of hone them as we start to jam it. And then, so what happened with this record is that we did that for, a number of months. And then we got into the studio just to lay down those bed tracks, drums, bass, and the guitar, and then the vocals. And then I'll take it back and add layers, guitar and synth and all sorts of things, harmonies, percussion, whatever, and then come back to the mixing process. But I guess I've gotten off of your question here. In terms of the writing, yeah, like, again, I'll sort of throw it together like a weird clay monster in a demo process, not worrying about the quality too much, and then get people to kind of put their own, vibe into playing it. Yeah.
Interesting. I like your process. I think it's
process is everything. Like,
it is.
Enjoy it. You got to enjoy it because
absolutely. Which kind of leads me to my next. Like, I know you're a busy man. You have a family, you have a career. Like, how do you fit all that together? Because nowadays music can't be your own, unless you're like, Chapel Roan or whatever, like it's not something that most people can survive on, just that field. How do you juggle life and music together?
Juggling is the image because it's like things you're dropping. What are you juggling? Chainsaws or swords, torches, bottles of wine? Things are falling and breaking. No, but we hold it together. I mean, well, my wife and I both have our creative endeavors. She's a dancer and a writer, and we kind of share that special place, I suppose, besides all the French toast that you're frying every morning. And it's pancakes, crepes, or French toast in our house, like every 3 days cycle. And they're still not happy. It's just, it's wild. Like the kids, my kids are young, 3 and 6. It's just wild. So
it changes a lot though when you introduce kids into the equation.
It sure does. You think you
have found that it's influenced your music, or it's changed it in directions a little bit?
Absolutely. The way that my kids can just have fun in a moment, like unabashedly, like give themselves over to anything like performance or music or any kind of little moment is just such a wonderful thing to observe. Like I just cherish that so much. And I think in terms of that sort of vulnerability, like accessing emotions, sometimes I think kids really allow you to put things into perspective and really, really see what you care about and how much you love them and your family and like what that that's a grounding thing, and nothing else really matters, I suppose, in some ways.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even with all of that too, like carving out, it's good that you and your partner each have your own passions as well and your own projects, because it allows you to maintain them, even if it's not as much as you want, but it's still a part of the cycle of your lives together, which should be cherished as well.
No, for sure. And my wife sometimes helps me with, like, sometimes we go in and jam or write songs and like demo things. So that's a fun thing we've been trying to do lately too.
Fun. Well, I will say you gave me a little sneak peek of Gift Horse, and I've been listening to it over the last couple of days, and I've noticed some big moves. And you tell me if I'm getting this accurate or not, but it feels like you're feeling much more confident in your voice, and fluctuating it a little bit more in a really amazing way. I mean, it's been a couple. I'm probably saying this wrong, but Narcissus.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
I mean, such a great tune. I'm really excited for that to be out so people can listen to it, because they caught me on the first listen. It was just like, okay, he's taking some chances here. Yeah. So I guess I'm trying to get at, what kinds of chances did you take more of with this release coming out than you did with your first one?
Yeah, I guess the first one's a bit more meat and potatoes, or what's the word, like I don't know, mainstream, or it's straightforward in terms of the arrangements. Yeah, you kind of do that, and then you're like, well, okay, like maybe I can make things weirder. Like I love to sort of keep not just weird for weird's sake, but that, not everything has to follow a strict pattern, I suppose. So being, again, like listening to what can be, and then trusting myself that I can make it, pretty, I guess, or something like that. So yeah, I mean, just little moments where I can, like break that kind of expectation in terms of the arrangements, and not just to be surprising, but to, again, let the song kind of become something other than what I had intended or what I could have imagined for it. Like I like to kind of, maintain this place, like stay in this place of like not having complete control. And so like that, yeah, it's hard to put, it's like, is it a view? What is it? It's just sort of, the song kind of takes a life of its own, and you have to sort of just go with it. But yeah, it takes maybe a little bit of confidence to do that. And I couldn't have done that on the first record. But again, having done that, and I'm like, okay, well, also in many ways, it's like, who cares? Like, do what you want, so.
Right. I like what you said, though. It's kind of like that first record was kind of laying the foundation and kind of like figuring out what feel, and I find that this latest release, you're experimenting more and trying different things, and I find that your voice too, like on the first release, very hazy and like a part of the whole feel, whereas some of the ones in the newer one have you more kind of like, we're hearing your voice louder.
Yeah, I guess that's a confidence thing, maybe, and of course, like through just all the experience of recording and demoing and recording your voice constantly in all the different ways, and all of approaching the mic, of being in a room, of, you just kind of get a bit of experience. And then once you have experience, you start to kind of play with, once you're in control a little bit of the elements, you can start to play with it and let loose a bit and be more kind of easygoing about it. And suddenly you do that, and it's like, oh, there's all these kind of different things. But I suppose I've noticed that, like, because when you sing into a microphone, it's not just you singing, like you're singing into a sort of a mechanism, and it's coming back into your ears. And so you can play with that transition, or that third party, or whatever, that other element, which is the fact that it's being recorded and played back to you in real time. So you can kind of like work with yourself in that way also, which is kind of fun.
That's cool. Only a musician would say that, like a trained musician.
Well, I'm definitely not a trained vocalist, but you can.
No, I mean, you're like a professional. Yeah, and you went to school and studied this, and like it's something that's in your fabric. So figuring out these things is really enlightening. I mean, I love that. I love what you just said. So, yeah, to kind of bring things to a wrap again, I'm really excited about this new record, Gift Horse, coming out this year at some point. What does the rest of 2026 look like for Second Body? And
Well, lots of French toast and pancakes, as I said. So we will probably release this just kind of in the mixing stages right now of the record. So probably do a release in May, or some songs, and probably. Well, I mean, there's a record release show booked. I'm not going to announce it right now because it's not fully solidified yet. But in June, excuse me, and then we're hoping to play Chigawak in Gaspésie this summer music festival, and then we're talking with some potential booking for opening for some people. We'll see. I want to make a video for one of the songs, House of the Sick. I've got a bunch of ideas for that, and I've got a bunch of other songs that are I don't know what are they? They're rising. They are coming together slowly. Yeah, and I can't wait to finish all the little stuff for Gift Horse to really sink my teeth into the other ones. Because I got about 5 or 6 that are in the really early demo stages.
cool.
And it's just I feel like that's the funnest part. Yeah.
Seeing what rises.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. Well, I wish you all the best with this. I mean, I obviously will keep in touch with you and seeing how this evolves, but I wish you all the best with Gift Horse, and I'm excited. People, don't go anywhere. We're going to put Weep at the end here, so stick around in a second or so. All the best, Yann. Keep it up. Keep whipping those pancakes and keep slapping down those tracks.
Yeah, my career is not short order cook, in case you get that wrong. But I have, and I would. But thanks for the great questions and for listening, Chris. And love the podcast. So keep it up.
Cool. Appreciate it. Take care.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.